podcasts you love.
From people you trust.
This is TWiT.
Bandwidth for All About Android is provided by Cachefly at cachefly.com.
All About Android is brought to you by Squarespace.com, the fast and easy way to create a high-quality website or blog. For a free trial and 10% off your new account for 6 months, go to Squarespace.com and use the offer code Android8. And by Netflix. Watch thousands of TV episodes and movies on your PC, Mac, iPad, iPhone, Android phone, or TV instantly, all streamed directly to you, saving you time, money, and hassle. For your free 30-day trial, go to netflix.com/twit. For the latest hardware, apps, and news for the Android faithful. I'm Eileen Rivera.
I'm Ron Richards.
And I'm Jason Appelbaum.
Oh, snap. Who's this Jason?
I'm the other Jason.
The other Jason is joining us because Jason Howell is on vacation. We miss him very much. We would have had you on the show anyways, even if he was here, but, you know. I needed to replace that Jason with another Jason. I thought that might be kind of...
I kind of like this. I like this rule that when one of us is out, we need to find somebody with the same name, just to keep the lower thirds working and stuff like that.
Random people on the street. Your name? What's your name? Yeah. Eileen? Okay, great. You can fill it.
You come on the show.
Got an Android phone? Even better.
Well, welcome to the show. Thank you so much. You know, we had a developer on last week, Nick Gotch from Field Runners, and we got a ton of really good feedback. And the last time you were here, we got a ton of really good feedback because our audience really wants to hear from developers out there. So I'm glad you're here. Yeah. This week we're going to be talking about Android conquering the world. We're also going to be talking about the Samsung Galaxy S2 possibly has some sign-up notices. And we're also going to be in the arena talk about video chat apps. So those of you out there, we all do video chatting, don't we?
I love
more
video
so.
Chat.
I know. I love video chat too.
Now that with the advent of Hangout, it comes back into circle because before,
that's true. Yeah.
Because once before Hangout, it was like, oh, cool, I have video chat on my phone. All 3 people that have the one phone that can communicate with my other phone I can talk to. But I think we just start seeking out other ways.
Yes. And you know, more people have mobile phones now, and they, you know, I don't know.
Front-facing cameras.
In front-facing cameras, exactly.
I totally never thought the day would come where we could be actually using phones for video conferencing, and yet it's like now multiple options. So it's you know, it's the future.
I remember when Nokia thought it was a big deal to put front-facing cameras, like back in 2002. They were like, have our front-facing camera and our, you know, so you can video chat. And the phone didn't have Wi-Fi and only had Edge, and you know, you kind of look.
And it was all that like. The video that like would break and the people would move, then it would pixelate, and then it wouldn't work at all. Yeah, it was
8-bit face chat or video chat here.
Well, some people still get that, but hey, I wanted to point you guys out to a little graph that I found. Actually, I think Jason Howell showed it off to me, and it's basically the story of Android. So, Chad, if you don't mind pulling that up. Now, it basically kind of breaks down from October 2003 to the present, you know, the development of Android. And Jason, you said that you learned something from this after looking at it for the first time, right?
Yeah, no, absolutely, because it's kind of like this once upon a time, there was a little thing named Android, and it kind of goes from when it was conceived all the way down to where it is today. And up at the top, it was really interesting about, you know, this is who created it. Because I only thought Andy Rubin and some other unnamed guy. I actually did not know the other couple of names.
Whoa! And it exploded in our face.
I lost my train of thought.
Chad is having so much fun back there. Thank you, Chad, for switching for us today. But you thought... you lost your train of thought about who created Android?
Yeah, so I knew it was created outside of Google. I just didn't realize who all was involved. And it's just kind of cool to see when and how it evolved to its inception, where it was purchased by Google.
So yeah, I love this graph, and at the end there, you could put the code on your own blog if you so choose. So yeah, nice little.
That's a neat find.
Story.
Yeah.
All right.
A little bit of.
What's that, Ron?
I was going to say a little bit of learning for you at the top of the show.
Okay, well, you know what? Let's just let's get into our show. We've got a ton of things to talk about, so I think it's time for the news. All right, first up in Android news, this is something that came out today. Apparently Android, according to research firm Canalys, I don't know if that's how you say it correct, has conquered 50% of the smartphone market. So according to that research firm, Google's Android platform has taken almost 50% of the global smartphone market, dominating in the Asia-Pacific region. It was the #1 platform in 35 of the 56 countries Canalys tracks, resulting in a market share of 48%, the research firm said. I'm not a big follower of numbers, but this just came out today, and that, I kind of wanted to wear the shirt. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I like the shirt.
Yeah.
Definitely.
Yeah.
Because
I've got an Android eating an apple. If you, this was sort of shown off at Google I/O for those of you who are in audio listening, but I don't know. I'm not a big proponent of numbers and the talk of numbers. It changes every week. One week, Android's completely, done. The next week, Android's on top, and iOS is, down. Whatever. I take it for a grain of salt. But, what do you guys think about these surveys?
It's bigger than 18%, Apple. I mean, the numbers are the numbers. It's going to change. It'll be, next week it'll be 60. Then the week after, it's like, oh, this new thing, like, Mango put a dent, and then it'll go down to, 61.
Well, I mean, and the thing is, these analysts need something to grasp onto. I mean, even look at it. Like the headline was, it's taken almost 50%, when in reality it's 48%. It's like a lot of these analysts are, they're coming up with these analysis, and they're, kind of putting these articles out, partially to, give something to talk about, but also to give investors and give other people some sort of gauge. You need some, we're so competitive, and there's some sort of idea of who's winning. And any sort of news headline that could shake things up and be like, "Ooh, Android's taking the lead," they're going to run with. But admittedly, dominating 35 of 56 countries isn't insignificant. That's the one thing that we're so focused on the U.S. market and a little bit of the Europe, but that Asia-Pacific market, if the Android's really breaking in there and kind of knocking some of those other carriers off their base, that's pretty cool.
I think a lot of people in those markets were going from no smartphone to smartphone. So there's a lot of people not in the smartphone market that it's not that they switched from Apple, it's that they had nothing and now they have Android, because Android is shipping on so many phones that would not have shipped on even 2 years ago.
Yeah. I think, and the fact that a lot of those handsets are being made by companies like Samsung and HTC and stuff like that with such a strong foothold and established brand in the Asia Pacific market, I think that goes a long way. So.
All right.
Cool.
But moving on in smartphone world, right, Ron?
Yes, so everybody, the carriers seem to hate us for using our smartphones, as AT&T now is going to be joining the party on throttling the data plans to kind of knock down those data hogs. Starting October 1st, smartphone customers on AT&T with unlimited data plans are going to experience reduced speeds once the usage in their billing cycle reaches a level that is among the top 5% of heaviest data users. So if you're someone like me who travels a lot and, I don't know, does email and maybe BitTorrent and maybe file transfers and stuff like that through my smartphone, then perhaps you're going to want to look out. And as a T-Mobile customer who's soon going to be merging with AT&T, I'm a little worried about this because I've been enjoying my unlimited data speeds. But keep in mind that you gotta clock into that top 5%, which I feel like that's going to be a lot of data being moved. And so the chances of actually, that's the question. I don't know. I don't think the article actually goes into detail as to what the exact limit would be, whether it's 3 gig or 23 gig or 15 gig.
I think.
But
no, finish with her.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, but they're keeping it very vague in that top 5%. I think for a reason.
I watch a lot of videos on my phone, a lot of YouTube videos, and I stream a lot, so this is kind of a big deal. When I got this Chromebook, I've got this Chromebook sitting here from Google I/O, and they've given us 100 megs per month.
That's
nothing.
That's,
I just use Wi-Fi on this. I don't even bother with turning on the 3G because I mean, I am just doing a lot of data on here. Obviously I've just got Google Docs on right now, but I got IRC running right now, and I've got various tabs, and would like to run Netflix once they port that over on here eventually.
So your 100 megs will go away.
It will go away in like 2 minutes, I think. Yeah.
Well, I think.
Well, even if you're using the cloud to store your files and to do email, things like that, I'm passing around PDFs, I'm passing around PowerPoint decks, I'm passing around, and each one of those files, they just seem to get bigger and bigger every day. I mean, I just got a PowerPoint deck that was like 25 meg emailed to me. So that happens to me 4 times, and I'm screwed.
Yeah.
So yeah, the limits are not too good.
I don't think this 5% is actually that vague, and I don't think it's as high as people think it is, because not too long ago there was a report that said that the top 2% of their users used more than 2 gigabytes. So if you extend that to the top 5%, you're talking about people that possibly 500 megabytes and up. I mean, because if you think about 2%, I mean, I don't know how many people, torrent or download large files on their phone. I know that number is going to continue to grow, but even still, the top 5% could very easily include 500 megs and up.
Yeah.
You see, but the problem with limiting it to the top 5% is that it takes away the specific amount of data being transferred and leaves it so open-ended. And the thing is that, if they set 500 gig as the limit, then, then a lot of people will work to try to not, to monitor their download speeds, that sort of thing. But when you have no idea of how much data you're transferring, is AT&T going to offer some sort of bandwidth, kind of limit app that you can see how much you transferred in that month so you can monitor it? Like, with keeping it vague in that top 5% allows them to be able to shut you down whenever they want.
Yeah.
And that's really, from a customer standpoint, that's really, the vagueness comes to bite them in the butt.
So I predict around the date this goes in effect, a lot of people switch to T-Mobile.
Yeah.
Because it's still not capped. And and if you're pay as you go, or not pay as you go, excuse me, out of contract, there is no cap on the 4G, or what they call 4G, or the 3.5G speeds. Like when you're on paid contract, after 5 gigabytes, you drop down to Edge. Well, on the page or the non-contract, it's not on there. So you can literally just burn a hole in T-Mobile's network for next to nothing.
I guess that's what we've been doing, right, Ron?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, true, it has. And the thing is, it's important to note that this isn't the first. I mean, Verizon's been doing this for a while. The other carriers have been doing it, yeah. So, I mean, it's just kind of AT&T falling in line. But it's just whenever there are those limits put in place. I mean, we had these discussions a couple of years ago when Comcast started limiting data flow from the home users, not just on the wireless. So, I mean, the thing is that the bandwidth metering from carriers is going to become be one of the main issues over the next 5-10 years as we all strive for the most bandwidth we can get. So,
although
something to look out for.
Although that Comcast cap you were talking about, that's 300 gigs.
Yeah,
I don't know many people.
To your point, yeah. I mean, that was to your point. Is that everybody freaked out when the Comcast limit came out, but that to your exact point is that we didn't know what that limit was. Then we found out it was so high, and that you could never meet it, even if you tried. Yeah. So. Anyway, all right, well, moving on. Some news along the lines on Android with Ice Cream Sandwich. Android's Matthias Duarte says that Ice Cream Sandwich will help devs cope with a bunch of different form factors. An article on TechCrunch took a look at it and said that Ice Cream Sandwich is going to be continuing the challenging job of trying to create a platform that has the flexibility of the web. Basically, what they're trying to do is they're trying to make the Android operating system be one-size-fit-all, and with a bunch of different products out there with different needs. They acknowledge that it's hard to design in that environment, but they're doing their best to make it possible for the developers to work within that, to work seamlessly across different screen sizes, different form factors, whether it's phones or tablets or anything like that. So, and they've already, done what they can, as we've seen, to be focused on developers and optimize it so you don't need multiple APKs or, have specific device targeting, and they really want to make the transition between devices easier.
Well, this is a perfect article and question for our guest here.
Yes.
I'm so glad you're here, and he's been like, I want to chime in. So, Appelbaum.
So,
what do you think?
Yeah.
Well, what do you think? I mean, they're doing their best here to make it easier for you.
They are. You know what would make it really easy? If you just made every phone 5 inches and then told me the resolution, and that would be awesome.
Oh, but that's never going to happen. It's never going to happen.
No, I'm not complaining and saying that I don't want to make all these form factors. I'm just saying that they can make it as easy as they want. I still have to make 7 different versions of the UI for, the really small screens, the really large screens, because let's face it, a ping is only so big. It only looks a certain way on such a certain phone. Yes, they can improve scaling and they can do all those things, but that's going to take care of the 90% of the apps in the marketplace, which you download, use once, and throw away. But those apps that are really high quality are still going to have to go through the process of making multiple APKs for certain platforms, making hundreds and thousands of image assets for the same icon. And, you're going to have to fine-tune each layout for each different screen size and each resolution. And that's just not going to go away because, the pixels still aren't, unless they're going to tell me the pixels are going to change size in the phone and do something physically impossible. I just don't see it mattering.
Well, yeah, what was it? 2 weeks ago, we looked at the new app scaling. You know, similar to the iOS, where if you're on a tablet and you download an app that was made for the phone, it will expand it or minimize it. You have more control over it. But even that's not a perfect option. But as a developer, does it make more sense to say, okay, well, this is my version for phones of this size and tablets of this size, and try to make it more general than being having so many different flavors?
They're in Ice Cream Sandwich. I know that they're boiling it down to a set number of device types, which helps because then there's a tablet and then there's a phone, and it helps in a little bit that way. But you still have to go through the work in creating multiple interfaces. So that the fact that it says it's going to be easy or easier, it's not easier. It's just more defined. It's basically, instead of saying, you can make a large or small, it's like, no, this is phone, this is tablet. I mean, you call it whatever you want. You still have to do it twice or 3 times. And, to the having multiple APKs for an app, they just made that possible. So now that in the marketplace, if the Galaxy S2 doesn't work and has this one little bug, but that one little bug causes the other things to break, you can actually release an APK specifically for that phone under that package name. So you don't have to, when you go to the marketplace, it'll download whatever APK is correct for your phone.
Okay.
Right. I mean, it's almost like, it reminds me of a lot of the web development stuff that we used to do when you develop only for the web, where you can have a version that's optimized for IE or a version that's optimized for Firefox or things like that. Admittedly, that gives you a lot more versions to keep track of and things to manage, but it makes sure that you can make sure that the user experience is solid on whatever platform the user is on. Wouldn't that be in your best interest then as a developer? I mean, or is it just that it's more work?
No, it's more work, and it's definitely in my as an app developer, it's my best interest to make sure the customer has the best experience possible, so they'll continue to use the app and it'll be useful. And I think that saying it's easier isn't going to change the fact that I have to do a massive amount of work to make it easy, but it's worth it because if the user experience isn't any good, why do it at all? I mean, there's no point.
But wouldn't it be better? But isn't it better that Google's kind of providing the tools to make it to try to make it easier?
I don't want to come across as like, no, it's wrong, it's terrible. No, it's not that. It's just they are providing tools. They are acknowledging the problem. But providing tools only does so much. You still have to go in and do the work for a tablet UI and do your work for a phone UI. It's not like, oh, I can make one UI and use it everywhere. That's just a joke. And if you can do that, then you need a more complex app.
I think you need a little conversation with Matthias Duarte, Jason.
Maybe I do. Maybe he'll change my mind. I just don't see a 10-inch screen and a 3-inch screen being able to display the same content.
All right. Well, it sounds to me like they're working on it. They're trying to make it better for you, and time will tell. Probably in the next 6 months or so, right?
Oh, absolutely.
We'll have another conversation, and we'll say, remember back in August 1.
So my griping.
Remember this day when Jason was complaining about all the different, sizes. Let's see.
I like all the different sizes. It adds a fun, different challenge. I'm not saying it's a lot more work, but it's a lot more fun because you get to make the tablet app. You get to make the phone app.
Yeah.
And I think it's an example of Google's school of development, which is more web-based development than app-based development. I think this is a differentiator between them and what Apple's doing on the iOS platform, and even what some of the other app platforms are on. It's Google still carrying through that web development philosophy, but to the app space.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to email. Okay, this first email is from Tony, who says, or at iSting. Hey guys, could you let us know how the latest T-Mobile G2X update is working? I want to know if the update fixed the G2X issues. I'm buying the HTC and Sensation or the G2X next month. Your thoughts will help make my decision. Now, I can say that our chief twit here, Leo Laporte, has a G2X, and his solution, now he never got the update because he couldn't wait any longer for the update, and I know that that it's out there now. He went ahead and did the cyanogen mod, and it has been running fast. He, has conserved a little bit of battery life, and he's actually been loving the phone much more than he has in the past. Now, I know that he was having issues with the phone would just restart out of nowhere, just reboot out of nowhere.
That's a really old problem resurfaced.
And it happened on that new phone.
Wow.
Yeah. So it's happened on this Nexus S too. Overall, I don't know with the latest update. Do you have a G2X?
I do not have a G2X.
Oh, okay.
I do have a Sensation though.
Oh, and what do you think?
I love the Sensation.
So do you think that Tony should get the Sensation or the G2X?
So I haven't really had a chance to sit down and play with the G2X, but I know I love the Sensation. It's probably, I would say one of the best carrier phones on the market, if not the best right now, from what I've seen. But like I said, I've only played with it. I've only seen the G2X. I haven't had a chance to really sit down and play with it.
Battery life and everything?
Battery life is great. It lasts just as long as any Android phone does.
Okay. Okay,
So,
yeah, I know. I mean, that's the joke, right? Just have some extra batteries on hand.
I do.
You know.
I carry 4 of them.
Oh, 4. I only have 2 extra. Oh, maybe.
Oh,
I
they
should-
see. Would you have the battery chargers?
Yes, I have a charger.
Yep.
Yeah, I had at Comic-Con to last all day, had my battery that came with this phone, and then 2 extra with the charger.
With the chargers.
Well, I mean,
Wow.
I couldn't really charge it didn't have access like you did, Ron, to an outlet. So
Yeah, I survived with 1 battery and my plug cable, my USB cable, and every opportunity I had, I was plugging in the walls all over the console.
yeah, I didn't have that opportunity.
Yeah.
I was standing in line and sitting in the middle of a crowd, and well, anyway.
I've totally become, my skill for finding outlets is now unparalleled. Anywhere I go, like I was out at night at bars, I was like, is there an outlet back there? And I plugged my phone, so I survived.
Follow Ron at a conference or out at night because he knows where the outlets are.
Exactly.
Yeah, so anyways, there you go, Tony. Hopefully that's helped you out, and let us know which phone that you decide to purchase. Next email, right, Ron?
Cool. Yeah, next email comes in from Brian, who writes in and says that he's new to the whole Android thing and he's considering getting a tablet. But one of the things he's having a hard time is trying to figure out the trade-off between available storage memory and the cost trade-off. You know, for example, he was looking at the Toshiba Thrive, and the prices break down. There's an 8 gig version for $429, a 16 gig for $479, or a 32 gig for $579. And basically, he's trying to figure out, you know, if he can get away with buying the cheaper 8 gig model and then use the SD slot for more room for media files if he needs it, or if he should just, you know, commit to a higher, you know, the 16 to 32 gig and spend the extra money. He wants to know if he's going to regret the 8 gig model. And this is a question that comes up a lot when I talk to people about tablets, whether it's iPads or Android tablets or anything like that. And ultimately, it boils down to, what are you going to do with the device? What are you going to do with the tablet? Are you the type who wants to load up like 5 movies and get on a plane and be able to watch movies and never have to worry about it? Then you're going to want to go for the higher memory, the higher storage memory, so you don't have to worry about an SD card. You can just use the internal memory in the device. Personally, for me, I tell people to go on the cheaper side, get the 8 gig, especially with the Android and the Toshiba, where you can use the SD card and store media files if you want to. That way, you know, because an SD card isn't going to cost you that much more money, and it becomes a little, it doesn't hurt your wallet as much. And also, I think a lot of people underestimate their media usage. I mean, I've got, you know, 80 gigs of music, of MP3s on my hard drives at home. I'm not going to put them all on my tablet. I use Google Music. I'm selecting what music to keep locally. When you have 8 gig, you become much better at managing your storage device than if you have a ton of storage that you've spent extra money on that you never use. So that's my personal experience. So I would go with the 8 gig, use the SD card if you need it, unless for some reason you want to download a bunch of movies and things like that. I don't know, am I alone in that opinion, or?
I tend to buy the bigger models because I'm a hoarder. I store and store and store.
Everything.
I keep my movies in there if I'm on a plane, and maybe I do want to watch that, romantic comedy again. I don't know.
But the thing is like,
Maybe I wanna watch
how many times after you watch that romantic comedy are you going to watch it again?
on a plane.
4 or
I
5
will.
times.
Really?
Jason, yes, 4 or 5 times. I mean, I don't put all my music on there because it just won't fit, but I do put a lot of my music on there. It's always just for emergency, I think, as a backup, just in case I get stuck somewhere and I don't have...
Photos.
Oh, and your photos.
And my photos of my vacation from 5 years ago that I never look at. No,
Are you making
Exactly.
fun of me?
No, maybe a little.
But so is that hoarder mentality worth $150? That's
Yes.
the real point. Versus, I mean, how much is a 32 gig SD card?
Well, the question is how long you're going to have the device. So if you're going to have the
Yes,
device if you're going to have your device through 2 or 3 iterations of these tablets, then yes, it's worth a little bigger. I wouldn't go all in and it was going to hit that. I wouldn't go all in and go for the 64.
Yeah.
I think it was 64 or 32.
It's 32
it's
is the cap.
32.
It goes
8,
8, 16,
So
32.
go with the 16 and don't go with the
8.
Don't go with the 8. The 8's really small when you think about what a game is these days, because Android games
True.
can range up to 500 megs.
Yeah. Well, the other option too is that because it has the SD card, you can spend the $429 on the 8
Oh, it
gig
does?
version, and then spend spend
Thrive
$50
does.
on the SD card. Yeah.
But then you buy a
Yeah.
Thrive.
Right.
What's wrong with the Thrive?
I think it's huge.
It is huge, but it's fast. It's
I
one of
think
the
it's-
faster tablets I've seen.
I think it shouldn't be allowed through airport security because it's more of a risk than anything else. It's
Wow.
It's
Wow.
That's the only reason why, but performance-wise, it's pretty good.
Oh, it's amazing.
Yeah.
It's the coolest thing out there as far as performance, but
Yeah.
you could, I mean, do damage with that thing.
Well, maybe you need it for protection.
There you go. I mean,
Ladies, get the Thrive for protection. There you go.
Or Zoom. They work too.
The Zoom would work too.
The Zoom, I can attest. The Zoom is a brick.
See,
It's a heavy device.
I think the Thrive is actually heavier than the Zoom. It feels to me heavier.
I haven't compared, honestly.
I think we're about to
when
get
I
yelled at
did
in a
carry,
second, but-
yeah, well, when I did carry the Thrive, it did remind me of the Zoom, honestly. But I loved the performance. I thought it was better than the Zoom.
Is it worth the extra weight?
Well, I'm happy with the Samsung Galaxy Tab 10.1 that doesn't work right now, and I'll get fixed eventually. But yeah, I'm happy
and
with
randomly
that.
reboots and sometimes doesn't work and is going to get TWiT. Oh, gee whiz.
Oh man! All right, let's move on.
Sorry,
You know,
I'm negative today. I don't know what's wrong with me.
This?
I'm so
But you know what?
negative.
People like the crotchety people, so it's fine. Usually that's Ron, but today it's you. No, I'm kidding, Ron.
Oh. Hey, I'll sub out anytime.
Hey, before we move on, I just want to thank our sponsor, Squarespace. Thank you, Squarespace. Offer code Android8. I have a Squarespace blog, and Ron, you have one, and our real Jason Howell has one.
I feel like a real Jason.
Sorry. We have Squarespace blogs. I actually have one, Chad, if you want to pull up. It's eileentv.squarespace.com, and I added one more post. I need to do more. Really easy to use, really easy to port from WordPress, a movable typepad, Blogger, great social widgets, and there's also an iPhone and iPad app. But guess what? I was just sent a link, and apparently Squarespace for Android, there's a beta out there right now. And Chad, I'm going to give you this link here. I'm going to put it into our doc because I want people to see this. I'm super excited. Remember the last time we did an ad, and it was for Netflix, and they didn't have the Netflix app yet. And literally, I think the next week or 2 weeks after, all of a sudden Netflix for Android came out. And, you know, the first time we had, I'm trying to get this to you, Chad. The first time we had, no, it's not working. Okay, so the first time we had, oh, you know what I'll do? I'll put the link in our chat here. Sorry, everybody. Oh, I'm trying this Chromebook for the first time, and no, not for the first time.
How are you liking it?
It's okay. Okay, so anyways, the first time we did a Squarespace ad, I said, oh, we love Squarespace. We're using it. It's great customization. It's very flexible. There's so many templates. And, you know, what about that Android app? And, you know, lo and behold, pretty soon I think we're going to be seeing one very, very soon. There it is. If you're looking at the video, there's a little beta, a screen grab of Squarespace for Android. Super exciting. More reason to get it, right?
And it looks really good.
It looks really good. There you compose and manage. You can see your stats. You can preview your post. You know, you can have multiple accounts. I love the fact that you can see your stats on this kind of stuff. I mean, Ron, you use Squarespace, right?
I do. I posted to my blog today, actually, in fact, and now I really want this app because I was actually on the road and I was on my phone. I was like, oh, I really want to post, but I don't have my laptop on me, and so this is great. So I'm going to grab it as soon as I can.
Yeah, me too.
I like how it looks. It looks like the interface. That's what's good. It looks like a consistent interface, which is key.
Exactly.
So,
exactly.
Yeah.
And you can try Squarespace for free right now. Oh, look, there's my little. I love coffee right now, so I had to post this little cute graphic that Jeslyn on Twitter sent me about coffee. I'm going crazy about coffee right now. But yeah, it's easy to post pictures and to, you know, post anything. I actually see my widgets there. I've got a Twitter widget, and then I've also got a Google Plus little widget there. It says, hey, follow me on Google Plus.
There's a Google Plus widget?
Yeah, I found that on Google Statistics. There
That's
you go,
very
right
cool.
there. Yeah, you can add,
Nice.
you can kind of customize as you want. I'm going to add more, but I didn't want to, you know, I didn't want to go too crazy with it.
You didn't want to have the wild sidebar.
Yeah.
Follow me here, and here.
Okay, so basically, Squarespace is free. You can just go ahead and sign up online, and should you decide to purchase, they have some great plans, very affordable plans. We'll give you 10% off the 6 months of your order, and if you decide to purchase, go ahead and use offer code Android8. And we'd like to thank Squarespace for supporting All About Android. Thank you very much, Squarespace. All right, let's move on to hardware. All right, you guys know that I have an unlocked version of the Samsung Galaxy S2 that I'm in love with right now. I'm so happy I've made the switch. And it turns out that Samsung has released sort of a US tease with a little sign-up page. And if you go to that sign-up page, Chad, I think under video there's a link there for the sign-up page. You'll see here the carrier preference, and it's a select one: AT&T, Cellular South, Metro PCS, Sprint, T-Mobile, US Cellular, and Verizon. It looks like
it's a feeler page.
Yeah. What do you mean by feeler page?
So,
like how many people want it on what carrier?
Well, yeah, it's pretty much Samsung saying it's pretty much Samsung going, you know, what carrier should we shop this to? Because we want to know who has the most interest in where.
Come on, T-Mobile people, sign up, everybody sign up. Everyone should sign up. Period. This phone is awesome. I can't even sell it anymore. It's light, it's fast. Yeah, I just guarantee you're gonna love it. I am in love with this phone.
It looks cool.
It's a passionate testimonial.
Passionate testimonial. I'm not going to pound my fists on this table.
Air passion.
But this is the iPhone SIM in here. I moved my SIM into this phone, and it's working. And I love it.
I don't know how many frequencies it is, how many frequencies, but it covers the 850 and then the 1900, which are the AT&T ones. Which I looked them up because it also covers the 2100. It doesn't cover 1700, but nothing does. But it covers 2100, so it will pretty much work with 3G, 2G anywhere on the planet that has GSM.
There you go.
Which is very cool.
Also, there was some leaked images of the Samsung Galaxy S2 with a full QWERTY slider. For those of you who want the actual keyboard slider, is this something that you would want, Ron? I know that you had originally with the G1. Is this something that you're interested in?
It's tough.
Possibly?
I go back and forth with the slide-out keyboard. I mean, because I originally had a slide-out keyboard way back in the day with my HTC Winmo phone, like years ago. Remember that phone, Eileen? I had that big brick. Yeah, and then I was happy because the G1 had the slide-out phone, and then I moved away from it when I got the Nexus 1, and now I'm on the Nexus S. The thing is, I've gotten really addicted to a thin phone, and so I've always been like, I've got to give up on the slide-out phone. But this is really tempting. I mean, it looks like they've got the form factor.
They say it's not going to add that much to the thickness, but I mean, knowing my experience with this phone, it's just so nice that it's super light. I don't know.
It's very light. Well, that actually looks like an Epic 4G, which the keyboard even looks the same. I
mean, I don't know if any of these are all rumors. Who knows?
That looks like an Epic 4G, but I mean, I don't know what the distinguishing difference between that and a Galaxy S2 would be, because this Epic 4G is a Galaxy S1, but it'd be very cool to have one with a full keyboard just as an option. Because I know a lot of people.
Speed there.
Whoa.
I told ya. Okay, so there's speed test. It does very well. The Samsung Galaxy S2.
That is ridiculous. That's awesome.
Also, one more story, Samsung related. The pending, or the ongoing patent case with Samsung and Apple has pretty much caused an injunction in Australia of the Galaxy Tab 10.1 sales. And, for now, they're not going to sell this tablet that I like quite a bit. And for now. So, yeah, pretty surprising. What do you guys think about that?
It's going to happen. It's legal.
Yeah.
It's legal issues. I'm surprised that we haven't heard more about it.
Well, I'm actually confused what the patent issue actually is. Is it just some random patent issue, or is it this iPhone? There's
10 patents. Let's see if I can find the exact thing here. But
I'm just curious because I know the TouchWiz they're calling it TouchWiz. I don't know what it was called before that because it looks very iOS-esque. The new interface, not the current interface, the new one. But I didn't know if it was that was holding it up or they're. Well, I guess it can't be. I don't know why I said that because it's not even out yet.
Right. I mean, this is basically the beginning of the patent wars. I mean, we've been talking about this for the past month about all the various different, the various different patents that have been, either bought out or filed against or have gotten approved and things like that. And you know, this is it. And basically, didn't we talk about Samsung not on the tablet side but on the phone side?
On the phone,
that there was a because they held the phone. We held the phone side by side comparison to show how similar the UIs were and some of the icons. So I'm kind of surprised that this is on the tablet side of things, especially considering that the OS doesn't look that much like the iPad. So who knows? You know, maybe the Australia government is more amenable to patent claims like this, and this could be the beginning of the precedents that they're building up.
Yep.
Maybe.
All right, moving on. Big news in Google TV world, right, Ron?
I don't know about big news. It's news that makes me kind of go, damn it. But Logitech officially dropped the price of their Logitech Review down to $99. It went from $299 to $99 at Best Buy, and they actually responded to the remark or to the assumption that this price drop had to do with the fact that the returns are exceeding sales. And Logitech clarified that, and they said that this isn't about returns from end users. In fact, that the return rate of reviews is just the same as any other Logitech products. But you got to assume to drop $200 on the price, they aren't moving the units that they want to. And as a Google TV user, like I bought the Sony Blu-ray Google TV because I needed a Blu-ray player and that sort of thing. I love my Google TV, especially if you're an Android guy and or Android person and you're familiar with the OS. But the fact that it brings the browser to your television, there's a whole bunch of web apps. Netflix works on it. There's a whole Revision 3, TWiT is on there. I'm pretty sure. I think you can watch YouTube. It makes it's the first device that truly makes the TV an internet device. So if you were on the fence about it, I would grab this while you can at $99. That's a great price point.
Well, I put out a call on G Plus, just saying, hey, what would you want us to talk about? And Aaron Robinson on G Plus said, well, could you cover whether you would recommend Google TV over the Roku 2 XS now that they're both $99? I forgot that they're both $99. Jason.
Yeah, sorry, not to. I got excited. Well, Google TV all the way, not just because it's Android.
Yes.
Well, yes, just because it's Android, but because what's coming, I should say. Because
that's the thing. I think what happens is Google TV came out of the box with this, and it just poor UI, not much going on, and people are like, ugh. Why do I want to get this over Roku? That's really easy to use.
It just happened to me last week when I booted up my Google TV and I got a system update message, and I got all excited because I thought finally we're going to get this new UI that they showed at Google I/O. Unfortunately, it was a small update and nothing changed in the UI. But from what we've seen at Google I/O, the user interface on Google TV is going to get a lot better. But even beyond the fact that it's just Android and what's coming in the future, even right now, the Google TV box is inherently a media streaming server. So what I do a lot is I've got files on my laptop and I just pull them up and they stream straight to my TV, similar to what a lot of people do with their Xbox to their TV and things like that. So if you want to get into the arena of home theater stuff and streaming from your computer, Google TV works out of the box. It's one of the easiest experiences I've ever had.
But most importantly, this is going to be the only chance you're going to get to. Yes, you're going to have to wait because the market will be coming out. But as soon as the market comes out for this, you're not going to be able to get a Google TV for $100 because they're going to go back to the $199 price range, the $299 price range, depending on your feature set. So they've already guaranteed that this will get the update. So there's no reason not. I'm wrong, Ron?
Well, no, I was going to say they did guarantee that this is going to get the update, but the only thing that makes me worry about this price drop is that if there is a new device that's got a better processor or better hardware guts inside of it that will run the apps that are coming in the marketplace better. That's my only worry.
I mean, I don't think the Google TV is actually that slow, though. Like, I've used the Google TV a lot, that in particular one, and it seems pretty snappy to me. I don't see what would cause a...
I looked at the Roku 2 XS today, and it has a nice sort of Wii remote thing. I know the Angry Birds is like the thing that they're touting on this, that you could play or whatever. And it has the same Roku interface that that a lot of people use, and it's it's side swiping left to right, that kind of thing. That's pretty affordable, and Roku has done pretty well. So I guess what I'm trying to say is, are you guys both saying that you don't think Google TV is dead?
It's definitely not dead. It hasn't been born yet.
Hasn't been born yet. Oh wow! So
I think it's very much in beta. Yeah, it's very much in beta.
I'm not going there.
Yeah. but it's very much been a beta platform. And I was a Roku user, and I moved to the Google TV, and I dropped my Roku. And my problem with the Roku is that it's a closed platform, and even though they're adding apps and even though they're adding things like that, it's still, you know, Google. It's going to be much more unlimited as to what the potential of Google TV can be versus Roku. You know, but then in Roku's defense, it is and I mean this in the nicest way, a consumer dumb device. In that if it's somebody who's not very technically minded, you plug it in and it works. So it does have an advantage there. But if you're a tinkerer, if you have an Android phone, if you're committed to the Android platform, you're watching the show, if the Google Remote works on my phone, you know, it works on my tablet, it's just, it's a nice little contained environment to work out of. So
if you want half-baked products, go with the Google TV.
That's what we're saying.
No, I don't think it's. I know I said half-baked.
It's the future.
Just
it's the future,
baking. Just give it another month. They're going to come out with the marketplace. As soon as this UI revamp comes out, it is going to get ridiculous. Because we played with the Google TV, the updated Google TVs at I/O, and they're awesome. They perform well, and not only to the hardware, but just the apps. The amount of leverage you have as just another layout for the as just another layout you have to design for, but even still, you get a lot more functionality. And the fact that they even open source the Google TV remote, you're going to start to see a lot of cool peripherals and a lot of cool apps for these Google TV that's $99 right now.
Yep. You can't beat $99 as a price point. That's the bottom line on it.
It is
just
a great
give it a
price
shot.
Point. Yeah.
So,
all right. Well, we've got one more hardware.
Quick note on the Motorola confirms the Bionic for September 1st, which is important news for Jason. So when Jason gets back, he's got to note that it's going to be coming September 1st, the Bionic, as well as they announced one more LTE phone and 2 LTE tablets for 2011. So Motorola confirming new products. So if you're a Motorola fan, keep an eye out for it.
It looks like his wife's going to get the Thunderbolt pretty soon, right?
Hopefully. Yeah, jeez.
All right, let's move on to the apps section. And that's you, Ron.
Oh, I'm sorry. I thought we had an email. There we go. My bad. So, if everybody who watches the show previously and is aware of what some of the things I've complained about Android, my biggest complaint is my big fat fingers that don't allow me to actually use the devices that well. But Google is finally refining the search experience for big finger tablet owners, which is wonderful news for me. So basically, being able to use a tablet and use the Google search environment with a bigger kind of space, a bigger kind of real estate, utilizing the tablet stuff, making people with fat fingers like me easier to search on the tablet. So it's a welcome addition. So I can't wait to get this on my tablet. So.
I can't wait either. I think it's so frustrating typing as I'm sitting here staring at my fingers. I think typing on some of these tablets, it's nice to see the keys that are like this big. It'll be nice.
Cool. And Ron, now you have a little review of a new app that I don't know, but I guess both of you guys know. So tell us about it.
A friend of mine turned me onto this app, and I threw up the URL in our chat, so you can pull it up, chat, if you want to. An app called Scout Mob. Which it's basically similar to Groupon and Living Social. It's another one of those location-based offer apps, but it's really nice. Like they really paid attention to the design aspect of it, and it's the kind of app, like the difference between one of these apps that that I'll use a lot or I don't use a lot. Like for example, I never open the Groupon app on Android just because I don't get excited when I open it. Whereas Scout Mob, I find myself opening it up every day. Eileen, similar to how you open up the Amazon Android Marketplace to see what the free app of the day is. I load up Scout Mob just to see what is going to be there, just because it's a pretty app and the way to use it. Yeah, isn't it like it's a little more designy and it's a little more kind of modern in that regard. It's available in a handful. They've got a handful of cities in the U.S. right now, like Seattle and San Francisco and L.A. and New York and D.C. But what's really interesting about it is that, and it's also cross-platform, so it's on iOS as well. But what's really interesting is that not only do they have deals for local businesses and local deals that are only available on Scout Mob, but they have return deals, which are a neat concept, which is, okay, so I use this coupon at this restaurant, and because I use it, that makes me eligible for another offer at that restaurant at a later date, which is only eligible to people who've used the deal on Scout Mob. So it's as opposed to Groupon, which is kind of like a hit and run deal, it really gets me going to these businesses more often and looking for, I really had a great dinner at that Thai place. I wonder if there's a return deal available.
So what is it,
it's
mostly
kind of like
restaurants or?
Right now, it's been mostly restaurants. There have been some bars and lounges and things like that. But it's so far been restaurants. But they're really trying to. You can tell that they're trying to expand beyond just the food kind of options with their various daily deals. And it's very.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Bombay,
Yep.
Bombay,
so
India.
they haven't.
Go ahead.
Yeah, they haven't expanded as much as Groupon has into more tourism and things like that, but I'm sure that's coming. But right now, it's been you look at that 50% off meals at
But it's
restaurants.
also free.
I almost got a deal for you, Jason. Sorry.
No, it's also free.
What do you mean?
This deal is free.
Oh.
Yeah.
So when you're there,
I see. You just go
them
in 50% off. I see.
Exactly. Yeah. It doesn't require a purchase like Groupon or anything like that. You just you claim the deal, and then as long as there's enough deals available, you go to the restaurant, show them, and you get it. So you don't have to put any money down. So.
Use the deal.
Yeah. So they do use GPS. They use GPS to make sure you're there. Yep, exactly.
Oh,
it's interesting.
wow. That's okay.
Yeah.
So we're not
They're
there.
pretty
They're not going
smart.
to let us use that deal.
Yeah.
But it's kind of interesting because that's the whole deal with the return deals. It's not the return deal is how they continue to make money off of this. Because if it doesn't cost anything, then they're just like, oh well, we just gave you 50% off. But in order to keep people coming back, that's where it differs from Groupon, I think, and it's very good.
I don't get this curiosities tab. What is this here?
That is. I was playing with that a little. It's just little facts and about the city or the businesses they work with. I think it's just a little kind of bonus content, almost like in the app. So yeah.
Well,
But
cool.
yeah, but looking at some of their past offers, a lot of them are dominated by restaurants and bars. But for example, they do have like clothing stores, like at Brooklyn Circus in the Western Addition, they had a 50% off deal. It looks like the majority of them are 50% off coupons, basically. But but I'm curious to see where they go with it and see if more people start using it. Also, if more businesses jump on board. So.
Do you use it where you kind of are just in an area and then you pull it up and go, where could I get a good deal? Or do you just plan ahead of time for this?
I'm more of a planner. I mean, like I've got it synced to San Francisco, so I'm constantly looking for deals in San Francisco. And if I see something, I'm like, ooh, I'll snag it, and then that will help me plan my nights moving forward. Like, okay, I know I've got a 50% coupon on that restaurant, so I'll go check it out. It's not the kind of thing where, okay, I'm in the middle of Pacific Heights, where's a restaurant with a deal? It's not that sort of, because the thing is, there is a limit. I mean, and once the maximum number of people claim the deal, it will go away. So similar to Groupon in that you have to act, you have to claim it very quickly.
Well, very cool. I had not heard of this before, and I have Living Social and Groupon and all these other sites, more sites that maybe you two wouldn't go to, like Guilt and Rue La La and
They were the first ones to carry the Chromebook. Side note.
Oh, yes.
Completely
Guilt was,
random.
yes. But this is cool. Thank you, Ron. Just really quickly before we move on, I just wanted to mention that there is a new update to the Gmail app, and apparently it will help save bandwidth and battery. I'm going to put that here. And version 2.3.5 of the Gmail app for Android is out now for download. And there's some other things that it'll do. Ability to sync only priority emails. New features like new option that allows you to set custom alert tones for various labels. Ability to show pictures for specific senders. Turn off sticky message actions. And better talkback support for accessibility. So check that out and update. And, we were talking about, saving battery and bandwidth costs. Well, there you go. This will help.
This is kind of interesting. Do you guys have your Gmail checked your Google Maps checked to update automatically, or do you actually have to go get them?
I go get mine now.
You go get yours?
Yeah, I changed it because it was taking up a lot of my battery. I mean, I get a ton of email, so I changed that now. I don't know if I changed the maps, but I know I changed the Gmail.
Okay.
So it's much slower on this phone when I got it compared to this phone that I have.
Do you mean the app updates? Or,
yeah, the app
or
updates
just the
in the marketplace.
Yeah, the app updates. I have on automatic. I have those automatic just because I want to get the latest and greatest. So.
Oh, you don't look at your updates? You don't care what the
not for the Google ones. I trust Google.
Oh, for
I mean,
Google
maybe I'm
ones,
stupid. Yeah, but like
I just want to know. I mean, sometimes I won't ever check. And then, oh, did you know that you have this new feature? I guess I just like.
Well, they're really good about that, especially with Maps. They're really good about getting a screen that says, "What's new in Maps?"
It's like my birthday. It's like, yes, I have new features.
Except when you're in the middle of a new city and you don't know where you're going and you don't have time to go look at those features when you need to figure out how to get to the restaurant. So, yeah.
Okay, we have time for one quick email before we go into the arena, and I think Jason Appelbaum can help answer this question. This is, hey, AAA crew. I have a question problem that is driving me crazy. I own the HTC Desire Original and seem to be having a problem with my system memory. Over the past year, I've downloaded a fair amount of apps, but yet I've gone crazy with purchases. Haven't gone crazy with purchases. My phone is showing that out of 146 megabytes of memory, I go from having 10 to 20 megabytes free. This is causing me to have to move apps from my SD card to my phone so I can install updates. How can I reclaim some of that memory? I would like to use a few more apps, but I hate the constant juggling. Some more info. This person, Corey K, don't know if Corey or a boy or a girl, runs App2SD to move anything that he or she can onto a 16 gig SD card and does not want to ROM her phone or his phone. What would you recommend to solve my problem? Thanks, love the show. Corey K, your answer is?
It's actually simpler than you might think. So it has to do with apps you've downloaded in the past, and you don't use, like you said, you won't download them, you use them once or twice. They've got caches, and this actually came up with the Nexus 1 that I had all the time because it had 512 megs of memory, and that was it. And this was before you could move things to the SD card, and you used to have to move them to the SD card, and you'd fill up your space, you couldn't get updates, you couldn't do anything, it was really bad. So what you need to do is go in, I'll do it here for you, in the settings of your application. So it's settings, applications, and then manage applications. You will see, let me pick Twitter, because I know Twitter is notorious about, oh, sorry.
We're trying to show you.
I told you I'm just going to bump this thing around. So I'm going to hit Twitter. Well, Twitter's actually not as bad as I thought, because I just cleared it. I'm sorry. Give me a second here. Hold on. Let me find...
Live demo, everybody.
Yeah, live demo, exactly.
Something huge?
Something huge. Well, it's not so much the application that's
games?
huge. I don't want to clear my game data. That's bad. That would be terrible.
Start over.
Battle Heart. I would cry.
Oh. Yeah.
I can't find one. I do this all the time, and I can't find one.
Well, essentially, you go into the app itself,
So I don't
right?
really care about Angry Birds.
There you go.
The Angry Birds Rio. So what you have here is you've got clear data and clear cache. So the data is part of the cache that's associated. So if you have an app that will, say, download tweets like crazy, so if you have a really bad Twitter client, what it'll do is the database that backs up the application will continuously grow, and it won't downsize. So what you can do is look at the apps and see how much memory they're taking. So if you see here, the total is 412K, and then the application itself is only 372K, so you're using 40K worth of data, and 20 of it is your cache. So what you can do is, by doing this, you're going to reset all of the settings in the app, and it will be like you installed it for the first time. So if you use an expense app and it's using 5 gigs of data, leave it alone. But in apps that you don't use that often, you can go ahead and clear your cache and clear your data, and what it'll do is reset and wipe that app, and you can still continue to use the app, but it's going to be like you used it for the first time. So there won't be that huge cache there. So you can discover, I don't want to say hundreds of megabytes, but sure, tens of megabytes.
I think a big one to look at when you do that is your browser. Because your web browser, your web browser is constantly caching images and data to work like a web browser on your computer, so that when you load that web page the next time, it loads faster. You don't have to go out to the network to do it. But in doing so, there are no caps on how big that cache can get. So there are times where I looked at my browser, my cache is like 20 meg or something like that. So clear it, you get back. Yeah.
No, absolutely. I looked it up. So I have the application memory, of course, is going to be 0 because you can't uninstall it. But I have 7.25 megabytes. Or 7.52 megabytes of total memory usage, and then just over 5 is for cache. So there's 5 megs right there you can reclaim.
There you go.
Another one is the Facebook app is a cache
Facebook
hog.
is notorious. That's right.
I should just delete that app. I don't even use it. Well, Corey, hopefully that helps you, and let us know either way. All right? Thank you very much for the email. Hey, before we do move into the arena, let's just take a quick thanks to Netflix, our second sponsor, netflix.com/twit. Go there, and maybe you already have Netflix, but maybe you know somebody who doesn't. There's tons of streaming that you could do. still watching Buffy the Vampire Slayer and Angel on Netflix. And yeah, they've got their new tier that's coming out. But, you know, for $7.99 a month, you can still stream tons of TV shows and movies, watch it on a Mac or PC, watch it on various Android phones now. So, you know, and you can watch it on various consoles like the Xbox 360, PS3, you know, in the palm of your hands. You can watch these movies and TV shows. So check it out. It's, you know, you can get a free kind of trial right now, and, you know, help us out if you would like. Free 30-day trial at netflix.com/twit. Are you guys watching anything right now on Netflix in particular?
Torchwood.
No reservations is my constant.
No reservations. Okay, yep. Bourdain. Torchwood.
Yes.
Have you been, are you?
I've
like
just
far-
started. I actually just started. So it's a new thing for me. I saw a bunch of people on Google Plus talking about it, and I found it on Netflix. They have all 3 seasons, or if there are more, I'm not sure.
Well, they don't have the new Stars season. That's
Okay.
That's just, I mean, it's the current season. But yeah, the past seasons if you want to get caught up.
I just want to get caught up, so I'm
Very cool. And they just added Mad Men, Glee. We talk about all these all the time. But there's tons and tons of selections.
got to
There's tons
catch up on my Glee.
Jason, you did it. There you go. So we thank Netflix for their sponsor of All About Android and the TWiT network, netflix.com/twit. Oh, Chad, shall you bring us into the arena, please?
2 enter, 1 lives. Android Arena.
This week we face off on video chat apps, but before we get to that, we wanted to go ahead and show last week's poll. Last week we did games, and our guest was Nick Gotch of Field Runners, and can we show that poll really quick, because it was sort of a run away. Oh my lord, Field Runners won and won and won and killed Jason and I last week with our little games. They need to be fed, and Blue Kid didn't even stand a chance. So actually, I'm really glad you guys voted for Field Runners, because he was our special guest on the show, and I'll let Nick know if he isn't watching already that runaway. I mean, literally, I mean, it's a small sample, but 144 votes versus 17 and 18 votes for the little apps that.
It's like Android versus iPhone.
Now you know how it feels. So.
Ron.
Right? It's not so fun, is it, when you lose the poll, is it?
I was a loser for a long time.
Just saying.
I would always lose. I was with you for a long time, and suddenly I learned how to win this game, but not that week. But anyways, congrats to Field Runners. So this week we're going to talk about video chat apps, and I don't know how popular video chat is these days. I think it's going to become more popular. It seems like there's a small section of people that really tend to use it, and now a lot of the Android smartphones are coming out with the, you know, the front-facing cameras. So why wouldn't you use it, right? I guess I'll go first. My app is called Tango. What do you think about that name? So it's like, hey, you want a tango?
It's very catchy.
Tango with me? So when you launch the app, you see contacts of people who have Tango installed. And oh, look, it's giving me this weird account verification required. Ugh, whatever, it shouldn't be doing that. Little bug there. And it gives you some call logs. It allows you to invite people. There's some settings. And eventually, they're going to have a PC desktop application client available. PC, not Mac. So it's very simple. You just find a person that you want to call. Let's see if this works, actually. It was working earlier. And I called. Who am I calling? Hey, Tony? I'm going to send... Are you sending video? Look at that. And then that's us. That's us. Maybe we should say hi. Hey. Hey. It's as simple as that. Then, of course, you can mute. You can elect to just not to have video and just have, you know, the audio running. But this is, you know, a free calling service over 3G, 4G, and Wi-Fi. And it's as simple as that. Oh, and you could change the camera. So now I'm showing him a desk. Sorry about that, Tony. There. Hey, there's our desk. But that's basically Tango. And I'm curious to see when the desktop app comes, you know, if more people are going to use it. They just got a new round of funding, like $42 million.
Wow.
Tango just did. So they're going to compete with Skype, I think.
But does Tango make
Does the camera
Let's see. If I move
Does it tilt? Yeah, there you go.
Yeah. Well, he has to tilt, I guess. Oh, no, he's backwards. Whoa, that's weird. Here we go. Here we go.
So
don't move. Oh, weird. Tango, help me out here. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
So that's Tango, and it's free in the Android marketplace right now. I just like saying, hey, you want a Tango? And there's the QR code. Go ahead and scan it right now if you want.
But it doesn't make you nervous at all with the way they use accounts.
What do you mean?
So it uses your phone number.
Yeah.
So it basically...
Oh, instead of having just an account on Skype or something like that.
Kind of, but what it does is it associates your phone number with your phone number. So it doesn't associate with an account. So in order to find people on Tango, you have to upload your address book, phone numbers, and compare it against their database. So every phone every phone number in your phone. I'm not saying they store this. I have no idea how they.
They're going to come back and say that they don't.
Yeah, I know that, which is great. I'm very excited.
It's got to be locally stored.
I'm just curious because it goes, not to be negative, because I'm not trying to be negative. I'm just pointing it out.
He's the crotchety guy today.
I'm not trying to be crotchety.
It is.
Just saying.
But the thing is that
are any giving us warnings?
But are any of these apps that we're going to look at not doing the same thing? I mean, like we're going to talk. I'm going to talk about Skype. You're going to talk about GChat. GChat is linked to my entire Google contacts list.
Oh, absolutely. But this takes. I'm not saying that Google doesn't already have this information. I'm just saying that you're allowing a third party to scan your phone numbers and associate them with people that have Tango, which is fine. I'm just saying that, just be aware that if you have sensitive information in your contacts, it's going up there. I don't know, because some people store.
So basically,
like,
if you have PIN numbers, or if you have a special number to the president or something, maybe you don't want that in. I'm kidding.
But are they doing it? Are they doing it? Wait, are they doing it wholesale? Or are they doing it on matches?
Say that one more time.
Matches.
Yeah, it's not matches.
I'm
not saying that they just take all of your data and run away with it. I'm just saying that they use your phone number to associate with other people that have it. So it's like an account search, but instead of doing with raw name, it's using your phone number as your unique identifier.
But I don't see how it's any different.
Well,
everybody is very paranoid in our community. Like, I'm not going to give my information. I mean, even with using Swift key beta, I don't want to put in my Facebook or Twitter information. This is even worse. You're telling me it's phone numbers.
It's not necessarily worse. I'm just saying that what you're doing is you're saying that, and I really like this from the perspective of a developer. I can't speak. I really like this from a perspective as a developer, because what it does is it gives you a unique identifier that you know. So you go, hey, what's your account number? It's my phone number, which is really cool. But at the same time, it's like...
But these people have to sign up for Tango.
Yeah,
too.
Absolutely. And but what it does is you put
this is not my whole
number,
contact list.
True, but they have to upload your entire contact list to find out who's on it.
There's some sort of sync. You don't know if they uploading your entire contact list, then identifying it with the people on their system, and downloading a list of people that are on Tango. So the question is that a data that is then stored by Tango, or is it a one quick data match and then this disappears?
I would venture to guess it's a one quick data match. I'm just saying that means if you have...
And it's got to be hashed at the same time too. It can't be in the free and clear.
You never know. There are banks still storing passwords in the clear. If it's hashed, cool. I haven't done deep backend inspection on them. I'm just throwing it out there.
All right. Well, Ron, let's hear a little bit about Skype, since I got trashed here. No, I'm just kidding. I don't care. People should know. People should be aware. And I'm glad you brought that up.
Well, I'm hoping if I have any chance of winning this poll, it's good because I went with the forerunner in this whole space. But when we said we were going to do video chat, the one application that I use the most for video chat is Skype. It's we always talk about social networks and things like that, and they're only as good as the people that your network is on. And everybody that I've ever done video chat, it's only been through Skype. So I figured might as well go with Skype as the app. I got to admit, I remember when Skype first came out for Android, and it was way disappointing. Like, do you remember that when it first came out on the Droid, and it was like
terrible,
kind of clunky? Yeah, it was horrible. They have massively improved it with this latest version, and now that it supports video chat, it's the interface is super nice. It syncs with your account really easily. You get your full contacts. You can do everything from making a regular Skype call, even though they warn you that it's not to be used for 911 and emergency services and things like that. But then they also finally added the video chat, which has been on the desktop forever. So I'm actually going to call you, Eileen, here from my phone.
All right. Call me.
So Now, I want it to be noted that
contacts here, sorry.
Yeah.
But,
now, I want it to be noted that I'm not on Wi-Fi, that I'm doing this via 3G, and
Okay,
I'm currently on Long Island in New York, and there I am. So, you know, and actually I gotta lower I don't want to get feedback, so I'm gonna lower the volume. So, yeah, so there we are. That's me at the computer. You know,
is this on 3G?
You can see, here's my phone. Yeah, it's on 3G.
That's awesome.
Yep.
Wow,
and look, you can see I can move myself all around in here while I'm talking to you.
So yeah, so you can move where your preview window is. The thing that annoys me is that it defaults on the UI or the interface being landscape. And I personally don't want to hold my phone landscape. I'd rather hold it portrait. So if you tilt your phone, actually, and just tap on the don't mind that I'm upside down here. I'll turn myself. See how all the buttons stay on the left side like that? It aligns with that landscape kind of view. I would have liked for these to flip down and, you know, adapt to the fact that I've changed the orientation of my phone.
Right.
But whatever. I mean, that's just a nitpick. So I can turn my phone sideways and you can see it again. But it works. I'm on 3G. Look at that. And and all my contacts are there. I'm gonna hang out because I'm tired of looking at myself. You can swap the cameras. So if you cut back to the Eileen, to your camera, and it gives you an option where you can switch to the front camera, switch to the back camera, or turn video off.
Is this it?
Hit the camera right there. Yeah. So, for example, there's my sister's kitchen, because I'm on the back camera now. And if I switch it back...
There we go.
Yeah.
All right, I'm going to back camera. You'll see a table in just a minute. Hello, table.
So you get,
there we go.
you get more control over the cameras, which is nice. But yeah, so I'm going to hang up. Yeah, for me, like the problem with Tango or another app like that is I've got to contact everybody I work with and be like, hey, I'm using Tango, go download this app, go get on it. It's a barrier to entry. Everyone I know is on Skype, so it's just a no-brainer. And the fact that you saw how it was over 3G and it worked great. So.
It worked great, and it's cross-platform. So,
yep, exactly.
You know, all various phones that have it, you know, there you go. And there's the QR code. Should you choose to download now on your screen.
And the great thing is that it's also not just a video chat, but it's Skype. So you can, if you want to work around your carrier or make phone calls with it, you can. It's Skype has, years ago, Skype was the potential of the future of the internet. And I know they've had some stumbling blocks, but they've really gotten their act together. And it's because, except the desktop app, the new version is, I want to throw it out the window. But other than that, the Android app is great. Yeah, exactly. So.
All right. Well, thank you, Ron.
I dig it. So Skype.
Skype, and it's free in the Android marketplace. So, Jason. Gee, which one would you be doing?
Oh, gee. So when I was told that we'll be doing video apps, I was like, oh, Tango for sure. That's the one. That's the mobile one. And up until a month ago, I would have completely agreed with you, Ron, that Skype would decimate anything. But since then, Google Plus has come out, and Hangouts have come out, and everyone's installed the plugin. So it has made people that have never thought about doing Google Chat or video chat on Google able to do video chat on Google. So people that I've never video chatted with them before, I've been able to do it with ease, because if I look through my contacts, I have more people that are able to be video chatted with than not, which is a first. And it's
that's really the same concept as I was talking about Skype, because you chat with all these people on Gtalk, they're already there, so it's a no-brainer.
Absolutely. And it's
so let's go back. You're doing GChat.
Yes, I'm doing GChat, but it is not just all GChats. It's GChat for 234, or excuse me, Google Talk for 234 and above.
Okay.
Because it is the one that supports video. Mm-hmm. So, and everyone on Gingerbread is like, yay, it works, and everyone below Gingerbread is going to vote for everything else, and that's awesome. But it also works for Honeycomb really well. But it's pretty straightforward. You click on the little camera, and it dials. Mr. Paul Tobias, in fact.
Does he want to know?
It's
public?
Should be fine.
Okay.
Should be fine. I didn't actually.
The hard thing about doing demos with these apps is that a lot of times phone numbers will come up, or people's personal. Oh, hello.
It's Paul. It's Paul at the.
And he's not on his phone. He's on his desktop. Looks like.
Are you? Yeah. You're on your desktop, right? Okay. It's pretty cool. It supports rotation, which is nice. Oh. And then it just has your simple... Oh, sorry. Here.
There we go.
It supports rotation, and it just has the ability to mute the mic and close the window. It's pretty simple, but it rotates really nice. I'm not muting you because we're live.
Can we change the camera?
Yeah, it's under. I say that. No, it is just front-facing camera.
Okay.
So it's really straightforward, and it just works, and it works really well. And I really like that what it does is it letterboxes. So he's not going to rotate because he's on a desktop, but it will letterbox with when it's in portrait, and then it just. I like how it takes up full when it's or full screen when it's in full landscape.
That's cool. That's nice.
That is
really
nice.
Cool.
Very nice, and it's again free in the Android marketplace. Thank you, Paul, for the demo.
Bye, Paul.
Appreciate it. Bye. And there is a QR code should you decide to scan that one right now. Now, we did not set up the poll. Jason usually sets up the poll, so I don't have a poll.
Damn it, why are you keeping me from winning? I was going to win this week.
Are you
Wait
sure?
a minute,
Not
no.
fair.
We will post a poll. Oh, dear. We should have made our own poll right now. What is your question?
All these live demos.
Well, Jason's the poll guy here. I forgot to make the poll. Ron, we will put a poll, and what we'll do is we'll put it in the lower third, poll.cm/ I don't know, video chat.
Yeah, I'm doing it right now.
Are you doing it right now? Okay.
Yeah, I'm doing it right now.
I felt like I'm lax in my Jason duties. I didn't know I was supposed to bring a poll.
You weren't supposed to. So we're going to have a poll pretty soon, and the 3 that you will vote for are either Tango, Skype, or Google Talk, Google Chat.
Here we go. It's poll.cm/200.
200. There you go.
Yes.
Good number.
I like that. Very easy. Okay, there you go. Will Ron finally win? When was the last time you won an arena?
Oh, I don't remember. It had to have been before May. It had to have been. I forget.
There it is.
But,
which one?
The links I'll go
to.
to.
Highlighted. Look at Chad. Even highlighted Skype for you.
Google Talk all the way.
Just so
the links I go to.
All right, well, there you go. There's our poll, poll.cm/200. I know a few people had said, please repeat the poll URL because it goes too fast in audio. So there you go. Vote for one of those 3. Very close. And next week, we're going to do SMS replacement apps. I have mine. Do you have yours, Ron? You know.
I do.
Yeah,
I do.
All right.
Yep.
SMS
I'm a recent
apps.
convert.
That one's going to be tough. Hopefully I don't reveal someone's personal phone number by accident, but maybe we'll just, fix that and edit. So I guess that's it for the show. Thank you so much for joining us today, Jason. I really appreciate you coming up here and hanging out.
It's fun. I was happy to be here.
I wasn't sure if I was...
Jason swap.
Yeah, the Jason swap. Maybe that's what we should call this episode. I didn't know if I was going to have 2 monitors and just me, but it was nice to have someone live. And Ron, next week you're going to be here in studio. And
I will
we're
be
all
there
going
in
to be in
studio.
studio. All 3 of us.
Yep.
So Jason,
I'm making the drive up.
Yep. Yes, driving up. Jason Howell will be in, so we'll all be here. It's the first time we would have done the show in-house all together. So watch out for that, episode 20. But that's it for this week. Thank you so much. And once again, you could call us and send us a voicemail at 347-SHOW-AAA. You can also email us and video email us at aaa@twit.tv. We're also on Twitter at Android Show. And our show notes are at twit.tv/AAA. And once again, you can catch us live every Monday from 5 to 6 p.m. Pacific Standard Time at live.twit.tv. So for all of us here, have a great week. Thank you. Bye. They will move, I promise.
Those are ADK droids.
Yes, they are.
Raise hits.
Angel.
I thought the other droids danced, but I think it's just that guy. But yeah, there's someone controlling that droid with a zoom. There you go. And that's it for the show.